Hey, this is Joe Hubbard from JoeHubbardBassVideos.com coming at you today with another lesson. And this particular lesson is on walking bass lines with bebop scales. So with that in mind, grab your bass and let's get started. Bebop scales are scales that contain additional chromatic notes that allow the chord tones to fall on the downbeat when quarter notes or eighth notes are played throughout the scale. There are many different scales that you can apply this concept to, but the most common is the Mixolydian bebop scale. The Mixolydian bebop scale is created by taking notes in the Mixolydian mode and adding a chromatic note between the root and the flat seventh of the scale. This creates an 8-note scale. Okay, let's take a quick look at the formula of this scale. Now, it doesn't matter what key you play it in. I'm going to demonstrate this in C, but knowing the formula, you can transpose this freely to any key. So we've got the root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, flat 7, 7, and then the root. And notice that there's this half step between the root and the flat 7, and then we just then walk back down the scale. So the idea with this is that whether we're playing eighth notes or quarter notes, and in the case of applying it to this lesson, we're using quarter notes, it places our chord tones on beats 1 and 3, which are strong beats, and that's very useful in a walking bass line. So what we've got here is that if I'm playing quarter notes, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And this is a very useful thing to have under your belt for your walking bass lines. If you start by playing a chord tone on a downbeat while playing quarter notes, all of the chord tones of the dominant seventh chord will fall on beats 1 and 3. Because the bebop scales are 8 notes in duration, it takes 2 bars to play every note of the scale. In the first exercise, we're going to take a look at applying the bebop scale to a simple 1-4-5 blues in F. Okay, so let's take a look at the first line and then break down what we're actually doing. Okay, so what we're doing is we're descending down the bebop scale in F, then we're climbing back up the scale, go to the 5th, and then we play a chromatic passing tone into the next chord, which is B flat 7. So from the B flat 7, I'm just going to walk back down that bebop scale, and then I play a chromatic passing tone that links me back into the F7, and I play down the bebop scale. Then I play the chromatic link into the C7. Now on those 2 chords, basically I've taken a pattern from my walking bass lines book, and this is a very standard pattern where we're playing like a double chromatic down to the flat 7 and then back up to the root of the chord. Same thing over the B flat, and then we just have that ending. And I think I discussed that particular ending on a video on endings on the Lesson Lounge, so that might be worth checking out as well. So this is a cool way to outline these chords using this bebop scale. Very simple, and allows us the freedom to really kind of get this cool sound by keeping our chord tones on beats 1 and 3, which are the strong beats. In exercise 2, we're going to take a look at a walking line using bebop scales and follow-ups. Okay, in contrast, let's take a look at what we did in the second line using bebop scale ideas along with a technique that I call follow-ups. Okay, so I'm just playing down that bebop scale all the way down to this flat 7. And here's my follow-up. I go up to the 9, then I play the 6 into the 5, and then I play the root in the 3rd into the next chord. So that's my follow-up out of the bebop scale. Then I play another follow-up idea because I'm going straight down to the flat 7. My follow-up idea, same idea. So from over the B flat 7, I'm going the root, chromatic down to the flat 7, up to the 9, then 6 into 5. And then I play the root and then a chromatic above the root of the F7. I play another follow-up idea. And then double chromatic into the C, which is the 5 chord. And then I just play those same 2 ideas. Those 2 ideas are taken straight from my Walking Basslines book. And that book also has numerous other ideas that you can use along with this, and the whole key is to start mixing this stuff together. I didn't include any of these bebop scale ideas in my Walking Basslines book because I'm going to be doing follow-up series to this and follow-up video lessons too. But this is a really cool way to sort of implement, the chord tones on the strong beats, which is beats 1 and 3. Okay, you go practice. Well, that just about wraps up today's lesson, but before we go, let's take a look at what we've learned. At the end of this lesson, you've learned how to create walking bass lines using the Mixolydian bebop scale. We also learned that by starting on a chord tone, you'll always end up playing chord tones on beats 1 and 3. We also checked out how to feel the number of bars by playing up and down the scale. Well, thanks for checking out this lesson. For more great content on how to play great walking bass lines, make sure to get over to joehubbardbass.com and order my book on walking bass lines. Until next time, practice smart, work hard, and play creatively.